Hi there, Jen Roque here at StampCampWithJen.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida, and welcome to this card tutorial. If you're new here and you're watching from my YouTube channel, please make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure you click that bell so you never miss a video. If you look in the description below, you'll be able to see the link for my blog post related to this card, as well as the complete list of supplies. If you need any of the supplies for this card, please shop with me, Jennifer Roque. I would love to have your business, and you can also check out my monthly free gift if you have at least a $50 order. You get your choice of 3 different free gifts for the month of January. For January, it's a Simply Shammy, the Pastel Pearls, or the Gorgeous Grape Sheer Ribbon, okay? And every month I have a different free gift offering. And we're in the middle of celebration right now, so if you place at least a $50 order, you'll also get a free celebration item. And who doesn't love celebration, right? All right, so and if you're watching this from my blog, please be sure to sign up for my newsletter. I love having newsletter subscribers. They get exclusive information way before anybody else, as well as if you put your birthday information in there, you'll get an exclusive birthday offer from me as well. Okay, so let's get started. So I designed this card for my in-person Stamp Camp classes for January 2022. It is a bookbinding explosion card. Isn't that just so cool? So it has the bookbinding feature where it's kind of sealed on the side, and then when you open it up, it kind of explodes with your sentiment on the inside here. It's just so much fun. And this piece right here is a 6x6 piece of paper. So if you purchased a product share from me, or any other demonstrator for that matter, and you have 6x6 pieces of paper you need to use up, this is a perfect way to use that up, okay? So let me show you how to put this together. So we're going to start with our Poppy Parade card base. I have a piece of 8.5 by 11-inch cardstock here, and we're going to cut it on when it's in portrait position here, we're going to cut it down to 4 1/4. Okay, so we have a long piece like that, okay? We only need one, so I'm going to set the other one aside. So now we're going to take this light gray blade. We're going to move this dark gray cutting blade out of the way and just use the light scoring blade, okay? And we're going to go over to 4 1/4 here, line that up, and score. And then we're going to move our paper down to 5 1/2 and score. All right, so now you have 2 score lines right there, okay? And while I have my cutting, my cutting tool, we're using the Flowering Fields 12x12 Designer Series paper. Now, I've already cut this down to 4 by 5 1/8, but I just want to show you real quick. If you have paper that is it has a pattern flowing in a certain way, you want to keep that pattern going in the same direction. So we're just going to cut on the left hand side here. We're going to cut 1 1/8 off of the left hand side, and that will be what you need for the front decoration of your card. And so you're just going to line that pattern up right next to it, okay? So that's how you cut the paper for the front there. All right, we can put our cutter away, paper trimmer. All right, so now we're just going to fold that base in half there, and I'm going to get my bone folder out and just make sure to crease, crease that right there. Okay, so we folded in half, right? Just like as if we were had a top opening card, but it's going to be horizontal like this. Now on that second score line, we're going to fold back and crease, okay? So just that little crease there, just like that. And now this section here in the middle, we're going to take some liquid glue and apply a light layer of liquid glue right there and close that part down, and that's going to seal the bookbinding part in place, okay? So we can use our bone folder and kind of smush it Make sure to distribute that liquid glue evenly all throughout. Use your finger, whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? And now we have our little opening here. So cool, right? And while we have our paper, so like I said, you have that little strip that you cut off here that's gonna go on the left part that we just sealed. And then you have the other piece. And you just wanna make sure to keep that pattern kind of flowing across the card like that. So now for this, I'll just use Stamp and Seal, but you could use liquid glue, use whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? I know not everybody is comfortable with the new Stamp and Seal, and that's fine. You use whatever suits your fancy. So I'm gonna put this little strip on first and just lining it up between the edge and the scored section there. Okay, and then again, making sure my pattern is going in the correct direction. I'm just gonna center this on the square. It's gonna have a little bit more of a border than the bookbinding section does. I'm just gonna try to line that up. All right, and there's the front, and then we're gonna use the Flowering Tulips bundle, okay? So we're gonna use the No One Deserves a Happier Birthday Than You. We're gonna stamp with the stem and the leaves, and we're gonna do the two-step stamping with the little tulips up here as well, okay? And then on the inside, I put the Love You So Much. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Some people just chose to leave it blank and just do the flowers, but I like the birthday and the Love You So Much, so that's what I did on mine. And then we are going to die cut the sentiment on the front with the Tasteful Labels dies, and we're using, there's this piece that's like a long like rectangle with some points in the middle. That's what we're using for the front there, okay? So let's go ahead. We're gonna get a piece of scrap paper. We're gonna do some stamping on a scrap first, okay? We're gonna take our Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and I have the stamp that says No One Deserves a Happier Birthday Than You. Actually, it's easier to see that way. I'm just gonna ink that up in Memento. I'm gonna stamp it off to the side here. And then I'm going to take my tulip, because I'm actually gonna die cut that. So we're gonna do our stamping just over to the side, and I'm gonna die cut all that at once. So I have Poppy Parade and Petal Pink, and I like to do the darker one, or did I do the darker one? I think I did the lighter one first when I did it. Let's do the lighter one first. So this is Petal Pink, and the stamp that's a little more full, if you can see, like that, that's the one that you're going to use for the Petal Pink, and we're just going to ink that up. And it doesn't matter how you stamp it, what direction, as long as you line the stamps up, because we're going to die cut it out, so it doesn't matter where it is on the paper though. So there's Petal Pink, and then we're going to take the Poppy Parade. And a good way to line this up is, you can see there's like a little bit of a curve right here, and that lines up with the curve. Like you can see the V shape in the petals right here, and that's the V shape up top here too, okay? So we're just gonna line those up as best we can. Maybe I should have done it in the darker one first. So it's easier to see through the stamp. Yeah, I don't like how that looks. That's okay. I've got another piece, so let's do the darker first. I think that's going to be a little bit easier to see through the stamp. So we're lining up the Poppy Parade. See, yeah, much darker. That's going to be a lot easier to see when we stamp the Petal Pink over. So, and then we do the Petal Pink. And again, lining up that little V at the top there is, yeah, that's much easier to see. So do the dark color first, then the light. And it'll come out a lot better. Yep, just like that. Just kidding. Sorry, guys. So dark, do Poppy Parade, and then Petal Pink when you're stamping. It'll be a lot easier that way. All right, so I don't try to cut this out. I'm just gonna throw that away. No big deal. It's all a learning process, right? So let's die cut these real fast. So I have my mini machine. Now, if you're a newsletter subscriber, you heard last week I put something in my newsletter about Stampin' Up! Announced that their magnetic plate will be ready for sale soon. So I was really excited about that because I've been waiting for a long time. I love the magnetic plate in my Big Shot, and I'm always, you know, hoping and praying that Stampin' Up! Will fix their magnetic sheet so that, or their magnetic plate so that I could use it in the machines, because when you're die cutting, magnetic plates are great because they really help keep your dies in place. And so I was really, like I said, really excited when Stampin' Up! Announced that it's almost ready. They said as early as, they don't know for sure, but as early as the launch of the annual catalog, which will be on May 4th of 2022. They're hoping to launch the new magnetic plates for both the mini and the standard size machine. So right now I'm using washi tape to hold it in place, but when those magnetic plates come out, we won't have to do that anymore. So let's see if I can get both of these on at one time. One thing I wanted to note too, I know some people have trouble with the small machine with the plates not cranking through very well. So if that happens to you, it may just be because the plates are not lined up evenly on top of each other. I know I've had that issue before too. So if you try to crank it through and it's not going through, don't force it. Just pull the plates out and line them up and then try to roll it through again. And it should roll through just fine if you do that, okay? So now we'll put our little poppy on here, and I have the die for that as well with some washi tape. And again, to line this up, you just need to take, you can kind of see there's the little petal to the right there, and that die lines up perfectly just like that, okay? All right, we're just gonna put a little washi tape on there. But like I said, that is really why I use my Big Shot a lot, because I still have the magnetic plate and the Big Shot. So a lot of times for class and stuff, I just use that for die cutting because it's just so much easier. So I am really excited about Stampin' Up! Bringing out their magnetic plate. And I hope they fixed all the issues that they had with it before, with it warping and bending like a little bowl, basically. All right, so we were able to die cut these two at once, which is always great. So we have our little poppy. Oh, I forgot to put the little stamen in there. I'll do that real quick, but that's not a big deal. I can do that anytime. And then our birthday, and that is for the front there. Okay. And get all my plates. All right, so now put those off to the side. And then the little stamen piece here, we're just gonna use our Tuxedo Black Memento ink for that as well. And we're just gonna line, you can see the curve in the bottom there lines up with the bottom of the flower. And there you go, you have the center. I knew it looked a little naked. All right, so we'll put these aside for right now. And I'm gonna show you how to do the inside of the card. So if you look here, there's on the diagonal, there's a fold, and then there's like a plus sign in the middle, okay? So we're gonna fold that really fast. So isn't this pretty too? There's clouds on the back of this. So you could really use either one. I just thought the polka dots matched better with the Poppy Parade. But with the clouds facing up in a diamond shape, we're gonna go corner to corner, and because it's 6 by 6, it doesn't matter which corner, just pick a corner. And some people will tell you to score. I tried to score and it was a pain. So I found it a lot easier to just fold it like origami. And see, I even screwed that up just a little bit. It should have scored evenly, but for some reason it's a little off. That's all right though. We'll fix it when we burnish here, hopefully. All right, now with the polka dots right side up, we're gonna fold a T shape basically. So we're gonna fold it in half, okay, and burnish. And we're gonna open it up and fold in half on the other side, other direction. But keeping those polka dots face up, okay? And I'll show you what it looks like here. So now you'll be able to fold those creases and it folds up into a little square just like that. And then you can go ahead and burnish all your edges. And mine didn't come out perfect, but that's okay. It's close enough, okay? So just like that. And then when we put it in the card, we're gonna put it in a diamond position. I'll show you how to do that in a second, but let's do our stamping on this piece and assemble, and then we'll put it all together, okay? So let's do, I have my little squares here. I have 2 of them. They are cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So one of them we're not gonna do anything with, and the other one we're gonna do some stamping, okay? So, and then when you stamp, you need to have it in a diamond position as well. I know it's hard to see on the white, so that's why I just wanted to show you. And we're gonna take, oh, excuse me, we're gonna take Pear Pizzazz here, and we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and do the love you first. Love you so much. And again, if you don't wanna do this, you don't have to. You can definitely leave it empty, leave it blank with just the flower. That would be pretty too. And then we're gonna do, so there's a stem and a leaf. The leaf, I just stamped it in one direction, inked it again, and stamped it in the other direction. I recommend doing the stem first, and you don't need to go all the way up, and we're gonna do the stem just in the center where the corner meets on the bottom there, okay? Just like that. And then we're gonna do the leaf, and I'm just gonna do a little bit on one side, re-ink it, twist it, and do the other side. Oh, and that's a little smudge, but that's okay. Our poppy will more than likely, well, it doesn't completely cover it, but that's all right. It's homemade, right? That's what we always say. I could always flip it over and restamp it, but I'm not that worried about it. I don't think it'll be a problem. All right, so now for this one, I'm just gonna take a little bit of liquid glue and adhere this to the card, the stamped piece here. So I like to pop things up a lot, but the reason I didn't do it for this is because it gets kind of bulky with the folded piece on the center of the card, and I thought if I popped it up, it just might be too much. It wouldn't really close very well, so that's why I didn't pop the poppy up, but I liked die cutting it and how it kind of gives it a little bit of a more finished look there. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how to put this piece in. So what you want to do is you want to open up your card, and then when you're looking at it, where these little pieces meet on the side, this is going to face the right side, okay? Where these two, like when you open it up, where these center pieces come in and meet, that's all going to be on the right side right here. And then this is a perfect diamond, so it's going to meet corner to corner to corner, okay? Right along the edge of the card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the back here. Just a light layer. Liquid glue helps when you need to move something around and position it just so. So that's what I like to do. So again, making sure that these pieces that touch are on the right side. We're going to put this in our card here. Lining up those points, making sure they're all even, and then we press down. And so now when it opens up, it'll open up that way, okay? And now I'm gonna do the same thing. While it's in, it's already adhered to the bottom, now we're gonna put liquid glue on the top. Remember, go light, you don't want big gobs of glue on there. And now we can just take this left piece and just fold it right over on the top and rub it onto that card. Okay, and ta-da! So I'm gonna keep it closed just a little bit longer to let that glue really set on there. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and take this window pane check ribbon. This is the Evening Evergreen ribbon, so pretty. And we're just gonna tie a bow right along that bookbinding section here. And I just tied it all the way around. And let's see, I'm gonna cut a piece off. Hopefully this will be big enough. Let's see how big this piece is. This piece is about, if you need to measure, it's about 22 inches, okay? So 22-inch piece of ribbon. You probably don't even need it that big. I just wanted to make sure I had enough. It might be too big, but we'll see. All right, so we're gonna tie, you know, just like you're tying your shoes here. And it was so funny because when we had class, I had never heard of it, but a lot of the girls in class were saying there is a, what do they call it? Like a ribbon machine or ribbon something where it's like this wood platform that has a bunch of pegs and you can tie a ribbon and move the pegs. I had never heard of it before, and they were like, you don't have one of those? I thought it was so cool. So I have these reverse tweezers that I like to use. They're by EK Tools. You can find them on Amazon. That's where I got them. But I like to use that as like a third hand to hold my ribbon in place. And then I'm just gonna take a loop. Now, when we all learned to tie our shoes, or at least when I did, I was taught to go wrap it around behind and to the left. While on cards, if you wrap in front of the ribbon towards yourself and then put the ribbon through the hole, it will make a flat ribbon for your card. Let's see here, just like that. And then you can tighten it and pull those scissors out and tighten it even more. Well, that didn't come out too good. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, but it'll make the ribbon flat against the card like you need it. It's supposed to here. There we go. I had it going the wrong way. Nope. Okay, let's try that again. I swear I'll get it, guys. We'll all learn together how to tie ribbons. All right, so hold that and we fold it in half. Fold the loop. Okay, let's try doing it like we tie our shoes, okay? I was told if you do it backwards, it will come out flat. And I have had that experience before too, but maybe it's just not working for me today. Now, there we go. Okay, so this was like I tied my shoes, and that came out a lot better. There we go. Having these tweezers to help hold really makes a huge difference. And you could always just tie a knot. That's fine too. I know not everybody likes to do bows, and some people really struggle with it, but or you could just tie the ribbon around it and be done with it and just adhere it to itself. That's good too. So yeah, so I had a little bit extra, so you could probably get away with like 20 inches, but 22 is good because it gives you that little bit of extra ribbon to kind of play with if you need to. Okay, so now let's do the inside. So that's adhered pretty well. So we're gonna put this on the left side and this on the right side. This is where your message would go. Now, it is a little bulky to do it this way. So if you wanted to do that before putting it inside, before you attach that center in the card, that might be better, but I don't think it's too bad to deal with, because you can just lay it flat on one side, adhere, and then, well, that's not really gonna work. So this part isn't gonna lay flat, so if you wanna put these white pieces in before you adhere the center, that might be better. I was just worried about adhering something upside down, whereas the pattern paper, you know, you can adhere it either way. With the closure, it's not directional, which is good, but you know, it can really only close one way because of those pieces. So if you wanted to do that ahead of time, that would probably be better than doing it like I did. All right, so that's the inside. So pretty, right? And then we have our ribbon and our little sentiment that we cut out with those Tasteful Labels dies. And I'm gonna pop this one up. My dimensionals are all sticking. Here we go. Just gonna put some dimensionals on the back here. I think 3 should be good. I didn't decorate the front too much because I really wanted that paper to really shine through. I think this paper is so pretty. And all the girls at class really enjoyed this card. That paper is just so gorgeous. All right, so we did that. And then we're gonna grab, again, this is all part of that Flowering Fields suite. These brushed brass butterflies. Say that 3 times fast, right? They're so pretty, and we're just gonna use the little small ones and put them on the front of our card. So I'm gonna use this little spatula piece here, and I'm gonna put one at the bottom. Oops. They're a little tricky to work with, but that's okay. But they have the adhesive already on them, which I love, love, love when Stampin' Up! Does that. And then this other little guy is gonna go up here in the corner. And that is it. How cute is that birthday card? I just love that. So much fun. Oh. So let me show you one more time. I have the catalog here. Let's see. Oh, here it is. So the Flowering Fields suite is on page 14 and 15, okay? So page 14 and 15, okay? We have that beautiful paper. We use this check ribbon, the butterflies, and this bundle. So we used almost the whole suite. The only thing we didn't use was the Tulip Fields bundle, but we used everything else in this suite for this card today. And if you are watching from YouTube and you want to go back to my blog, I am including a video from Stampin' Up! That shows you how to put these tulips together if you die cut the different tulip pieces here. It's a little tricky to figure out just to watch on your own, but if you go and watch the Stampin' Up! Video, it'll explain how to put all those pieces together, okay? All right, guys. Well, again, don't forget, Celebration is going on. You have until February 28th to get those freebies, so be sure to order any supplies you need and get those free items before time runs out, okay? If you have any questions about today's project, please feel free to email me anytime at stampcampwithjen@gmail.com. I love getting questions. There's no dumb questions in my opinion, and I would love to hear from you. Even if you just want to tell me you love the project, I'd love hearing from you. I designed this card all by myself. I did use another demonstrator's tutorial. Fellow pal Tammy Beard, I do have to give her credit. She had a great tutorial with measurements and stuff, and I will be sure to link her original post in my blog post as well if you want to check out her card. But I did design this card. Is my design and my creation. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a comment on my blog or leave a comment on my YouTube channel if you're watching from there. Again, welcome if you're new, and if you're a returning friend, I'm so happy you joined me, and thanks for watching. Be safe. Bye-bye.